'Cause that's the way things happen on the Polar Depress.
All aboard!
Choo choo tracks.
That was some steam in that whistle. How you doing, Ken?
I think we had a meal today, or at least Tom Hanks made a meal of every bit of dialogue.
Oh my gosh. On the 10th day of Christmas, Tom Hanks gave to us The Fast and Furious, but with trains.
This is a very opulent train. Can we?
Yes.
It's a very nicely appointed, luxurious train with the absolute worst maintenance, staffing, and who is maintaining these tracks too? Like, who builds tracks in an area that can be completely iced over?
Yeah.
In the way that we see.
I mean, it is the Arctic Circle. I assume this is the only voyage of the Polar Express throughout the year. It's not like these tracks are
like
regularly
Titanic.
in service, or are they? Yeah, right. I mean, right at the top of the sequence, the cotter pin sheared off, which seems like maybe a vulnerability in the train's design. And then they went over, I can't remember what it's called, like, Guillotine Gulch or whatever, which I can't imagine how you would get through that at normal speed. And then they end up in a frozen lake with one of my favorite Tom Hanks line reads, which is, "Jiminy Christmas, the ice is frozen on the tracks."
Oh, his just tracks.
Tracks.
Like he went sort of Jimmy Durante almost.
A little ha-cha-cha-cha.
Yeah.
Jiminy Christmas.
We did get a roller coaster moment. You had mentioned in previous days that that there is a segment in the original Chris Van Allsburg book that talks about the train going over the peaks and valleys like a roller coaster. Mm-hmm. So reading that, I'm sure Bobby Z and his co-writer were like, roller coaster.
Yeah.
We can do a full-on roller coaster.
Yeah, the book mentions the hills and mountains turning into a barren desert of ice, which I guess is where we are now. Which means that next is the North Pole, hopefully. I hope they eventually get to the North Pole.
As we approach Santa's Fortress of Solitude.
Right. It's just a castle made out of presents.
Yeah, to have a literal just make it into a roller coaster moment of...
Yeah.
Now, if I remember correctly, was Polar Express re-released as a 3D film in one of the holiday seasons around the time of like the major 3D craze?
I don't recall that specifically, but that absolutely sounds like something they would do.
I seem to recall like 2011, 12, somewhere around like the sort of the dying peak of the 3D craze, that this was a holiday re-release of this and transformed into a 3D version of it. I kind of want to look that up right now because this seems like
you gotta, yeah.
If you're gonna make a big thing of a 3D moment.
Yeah.
That first person roller coaster perspective.
Yeah. This is the moment where you're like, I'm glad I paid $18 for this. This is worth the extra.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
It'll keep the kids quiet on Christmas Day for 90 minutes, which is, I think,
by the way, in looking that up to see if a 3D version has been released, my local theater is playing Polar Express this Sunday on the big screen.
Well, that would be too much. You can only handle 4 minutes at a time.
Can't do it. Polar Express IMAX 3D experience does exist.
Currently? Is that what's playing at your Pixar house?
It looks like it's, no, it was re-released. Also, the Carnegie Science Center also played it.
You're going to get to the end of this advent calendar and wish you had seen it in the Picture House.
I'm not going to wish I had seen it in the first place. I don't think I'm going to quite get to that point. I don't know if I'll get there.
You'll get 4 minutes in and go, it's too much.
Although I do like this one little snippet of someone's review, the Polar Express 3D gives off a so what sort of vibe. So there was at some point released a 3D version of it.
I wonder if you can have a 3D TV now, right? Is there I wonder if you could get a home video release of the 3D Polar Express.
I think I might actually own it. I might have gotten a screener of it at some point. That seems also like a thing that would have been done. That I would have gotten. Oh, it was also released in Anaglyph 3D Blu-ray and DVD on October 28th, 2008. Labeled
Anaglyph? What does that mean?
I think that's the non-red and blue. That's the regular polarized, I think.
Uh-huh.
This version includes an Anaglyph version of the film and the original theatrical presentation. Later released to Blu-ray 3D on November 16, 2010, and to Ultra HD Blu-ray on November 1st, 2022.
2022.
So,
well, I know the version on Max right now is the 20th anniversary edition, and I don't know what that means.
That seems preemptive?
Yeah. I don't... Yeah. Was there... I don't know. I wasn't sure, like, are the textures, did they remaster any of it? Because the textures still look like an Assassin's Creed cutscene.
No, I'm sure nothing was done. Zemeckis is the anti-Lucas when it comes. I don't think there's going to be any tweaks made.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like he would look at this and be like, yes, that's my perfect creation. I need to change nothing about it.
But in one shot, you can see Doc Brown's flying time travel train in the background.
I think that would endear this film to me more if they had inserted other Zemeckis properties. Yeah, like the DeLorean sliding across this lake of ice that we're skidding around. Now I kind of want to see
this. I want to take this whole roller coaster sequence and put the Back to the Future theme on it.
But then you'd miss the line read of Jiminy Christmas, the ice is frozen on the tracks.
Yeah, but we can isolate. We can pump that up in the mix. We can make sure we preserve that.
Actually, I want to hear Doc Brown say, Jiminy Christmas, the ice is frozen on the tracks, Marty.
Howdy, Jiminy Christmas, the ice is frozen on the
tracks.
We gotta get out of here.
These tickets are not transferable, Marty.
We gotta send you back to Christmas.
You gotta go back to the back of the trade car.
Where the lonely boy is.
Just play by hurdy-gurdy, Marty.
There's a ghost hobo!
The cotter pin shit off, Marty!
1.21 quarts of hot chocolate!
The Christmas train is never late! And the other one cares about this! Caribou!
It would take the spirit of Christmas!
I'm a little surprised there's not like a Back to the Future Christmas special. I'm not really sure how much Christmas canon has Bobby Z waded into.
I don't know, but now this film is missing a lot of Christopher Lloyd that could have been in here in some of these supporting roles.
What isn't, though?
I mean, him as the hobo would have been much better than whatever Hanks was doing.
I have to imagine if you put a mocap suit on Christopher Lloyd, he would shrug it off like if you put a t-shirt on a cat, you know? He would fight it with every breath.
This doesn't feel right.
Where's the sets?
Uncomfortable.
He would like chew it off. He would like a dog. You have to put a cone on him like a dog.
I also want to put his Klingon character from Star Trek 3 on there too. His Klingon captain, who delivers the only line when anyone has to go any place that goes into my head is "Get out of there!" when the self-destruct's about to go off on the Enterprise. That's my takeaway. That's my entire takeaway is let's just talk about Christopher Lloyd for this entire Advent calendar.
Yeah. I mean, that fills me with Christmas joy. I think the Advent calendar did its job today.
I think it did. I think we need to move on and see what tomorrow will bring us as far as festive polar cheer.
Get your cotter pins back in place for tomorrow.
And tug those beards. We'll see you then.
Choo-choo.
Jingle.